All right, I believe I should be ready to go. Let me hope I'm clicking the right button here. Nope. That'll do it. All right. I gotta live better next time. Well, hello there, and thank you all for joining us. All right, so I'm sure as you're the title, we are playing a little bit of Go format, I believe. Depends on how Combat feels about it, but talking with him on Wednesday, he felt like it was a great format to try out. So we're going to give that a shot. Hey there, Grim Reaper. Welcome to the chat. I don't know if I've... you're new here, right? So welcome. This is the Battle Royale. Audio's choppy. Of course it is. I have to test my audio every time I start my mic up. Let me do this. If that's better, let me know. I'm gonna do a quick audio check though now that you brought it up. Thank you, Nova. So I'll be right there with you guys in a moment. Oh, right. I gotta set it up so that I could hear it. Testing, testing. Testing. Still choppy? That might just be the quality of my mic though. Then I'm not sure if that's an issue. I mean, I've been using this mic for a while. Has it been choppier lately than before? Gotta check it out again. Testing, testing. I think that's the best I can do with that setup. It's a mic problem, I guess. I have actually been thinking about getting a new mic, something that's not right around my head like this. This is kind of the best mic setup I have at the moment. But thank you for that. I am your noob. Oh, thank you, Grim Reaper. Do I know you by chance? Or are you just fine? Have you been watching us before and you just our content? I really appreciate that, by the way, if that is the case. But let me go ahead and actually talk to you about what we're seeing on screen here for a little moment, so you can at least get a sense. So this is gonna Go format, so Battle Royale in the Go format. So what does that mean? First time, good. So let me go ahead and explain to you what Battle Royale is. So Battle Royale is basically taking Yu-Gi-Oh format that we play with one-on-one and spreading it across more players. So in this case, in our stream, we're gonna be doing it against 3 other players. So it's gonna be a 4-player free-for-all. We've done this traditionally with the Master Rule 5 or 420, whatever they call it these days, but trying it out with the GOAT format. And the GOAT format has a particular different set of rules in that it's pretty much set itself into a position where it's stopped at place in time, April 2005. I gotta vet again, I'm pretty sure it's 2005. That ban list, that card pool, and the rule sets, and basically play based on that format. Wait, we're gonna go Battle Royale? Based on Combat's response, I would say yes. Depending on how it feels today, maybe. If you want to join in for the Battle Royale in the Go format, do let us know. It'll be nice to see how much people enjoy this. But this is gonna be the deck I will try to pilot today. And of course, my main man, Muka Muka. Maybe you've seen him in my profile pics across the profiles. I'm sorry, social medias, of course. This is my main man right here. He's the one that made me relive the dreams of Yu-Gi-Oh again, essentially, and that's why he's my avatar. So, hey dude, where am I on the list? Oh, great news on that. So, for it could be our list. If you're new here, I'm talking specifically the Grim Reaper. Exclamation point be our list should get you access to the list. And this is a banned deck today. Yeah, definitely banned. So everything you see, it has the little circle X mark, or not circle X, the circle cross, is pretty banned in this format. So currently in the format, in the time of GOATs, they were not banned. This was at 3, this was at 1, this was at 2, no sorry 3, this is also at 3. I'm just playing it at 2 for consistency purposes. Be our list, oh sorry, together. But as for what you are, this is currently the list I have up right now. So let me actually put this here. So we have Combat, Silverfire, Nova. So you were playing last in the last stream. So that's why you're currently not on the list. And the website I have posted on the page is this one. I'll share the link in a bit. It's actually on Discord if you want to go ahead and check it out right now. But this is basically the list. And so, oh, hey, the Shadow Boy. Wow, we have a lot of viewers today. I really appreciate that. Of course, these are frequent viewers. So Firestorm, Shadow Boy, and I believe Nova. Yes, Nova is also another one of our frequent viewers. So thank you all for joining us and enjoying this chat. But let me go ahead and go back to this in a bit. I don't have any more questions about... Yeah, perfect. So Firestorm, you are joining in, and that should place you... Oh, next page. I can actually X out of that one. If I refresh this should put you on the... Yep, right there. So I'll go ahead and clarify on why I had to remove you instead of putting you on. When I added you into the list again, this placed you at the top. I don't know why Warp World does that. And I'm not sure if that has caused issues in terms of like understanding the list order in the past. You are gonna be last on the list because it's first come first serve at this point. We are going back to the traditional ways of you have to add yourself back on the list, unfortunately. Oh, deep. Oh no, don't tell me deep voice. All right, let me go ahead and do that. I'm gonna higher the volume here too so that I can actually hear any notifications that come up. Is that better? I'm really worried about my mic setup. It has caused me problems in the past, specifically on the software side. Alright, so awesome. Voice is fixed. Thank you. do keep that on the chat. Do let me know if my voice just gets super deep all of a sudden, because it's like that's a sign of my audio going kapoots. You want to play too? Then go ahead. Oh, you know what? That's a good way to test. I have not tested this on YouTube yet. Try the command BR list. So I'm gonna post in without the space. Just sorry, not BR list. BR join. So without the spacing, type BR join and see if that works on YouTube. Because oh no, it won't. I'm dumb. This is Warp World, so you have to add yourself in on it. Welcome to the chat, Tom. You have to add yourself either through Twitch or Discord. If you're using Discord though, it's a little bit more. It's a little different. It's just add. That's all you got to do in the viewer chat. So also, on top of all the commands, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw the Discord link down below. So, yeah, sorry about that. They don't have support for it. That's only for Discord or Twitch, Grim Reaper, unfortunately. So this is the site I'm using right now. Only supports Twitch and Discord. I could go ahead here. Currently, it's not allowing support for YouTube. I wish it did, but I had to wait for that support to come in. And when I looked around for bots that could support YouTube, either there weren't that many, or the search functionality kept taking me to like YouTube bot, Twitch bot tutorials on YouTube. Funny enough. There you go. Hopefully that worked. Let me double check the Discord, because it should work. I've tested it in the past, but it hasn't been tested out recently. Perfect. The little check mark means that you are on. So awesome. And yep, it shows right down there, Grim Reaper. Perfect. So I believe this will, I hope this will notify you on Discord if anything, but we'll go ahead and notify you anyways through Discord if it comes up. Also, Shadow says he might not be able to play tonight if he gets a turn. Oh yeah, I kind of missed a few comments, didn't I? I'm in the list, but I probably won't get in plus people get skipped. Unless people get skipped. Yeah, so we do tend to skip in case of like, there's like 2 people that are offline right now. Actually, Nova, you're technically online. So basically, I just skip to the next person who's online. I don't try to bother waiting for the people who are offline right now. I do give a 5-minute notification to those, like, so if Solar Fire is up next, I would try to give that notification ahead of time, just so that they could get the head start. But yeah, we do tend to skip a lot because we don't want to have a wait for one person, wait 5 minutes for another person, wait 5 minutes for the next person type of thing. Shadow Dash said it. Shadow Dash said that on Discord. Oh, okay, so he is on here. Oh, he said it on Discord. Got it. So that's good to know. I'll message him later and we'll see if he's good for that. All right, so let's go here so you guys can actually view something aside from the bots. By the way, Mr. Here's a quick update on the Olympic. We now have the Olympic archetype that you're creating. Got it. That's to give context to other people reading that. They now have a new link that uses a tuner and 3 equipped spells. Oh, and the 3 equipped spells are done. Okay, it's cool. People who caught the one stream will know what we're talking about. He's making a custom, basically a custom at this point, with custom cards. You're gonna have to let me know how the format goes, because technically I'm also creating a custom format myself. And I say technically we and the guys typically join us on Battle Royale have helped create. It's hard to put it in such a way that it's collaborative. I'm just gonna say we all worked on it. It was a joint effort. I hate saying I helped because like I don't want to make them feel insignificant. They were a crucial part of the whole ruling on the Battle Royale. And to anyone who wants to know more about that ruling, it extends for quite a bit. We make sure that we are very specific on all the niche rulings of Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's to the new viewers that are watching us right now. Alright. I'll go ahead and leave it up here for now. So, what's that? The link doesn't use a tuner, the link is a the link is a tuner. Oh my god, you're innovating the game, good sir. We gotta see. I would like to know how you plan on making that tuner work, but I'm sure there's ways. They've made like dark synchros in the Konami these days, subtracting levels to create a synchro monster. That's kind of like what dark synchros did in anime, so I'm like, okay, they can do anything at this point as long as the card type does it. Alright, so let me circle back because we do have to have a 1 hour beginning part of the thing, like I call it the pre-show before the actual Battle Royale begins. Battle Royale begins at 9. So I have about 30 minutes to go ahead and talk about a little bit about my deck, a little bit of the format and things like that. So basically, I've already explained this in the beginning. Muka Muka is my avatar, my icon, the light of my heart, the one that made me start Yu-Gi-Oh! Back again, essentially. And so what he does is he gains 400 attack for each card in your hand. So back in the old days, I wanted to use a card effect with like appropriate to sort of abuse the idea of getting so much draw, so much advantage, and just having my guy increase to crazy amounts of deck power. And with my helpful friend here, Giant Rat, I summon him out of deck easy. So with a Giant Rat, ram him to something small, and then bring out a potential like 4K beater from the deck. And that's kind of how the deck rolled. Very, very early days. Not earlier than Goat Format, unfortunately. When I started playing the game again, I didn't have any access to. I think Giant Tree was still legal when I played, but Metamorphosis, Pot of Greed, maybe prematurely even, and Snatch were banned. They were not. Last Will as well was like long banned by then. So now that I'm trying out Go Format again, Combat has noticed that Muka is actually in the Goat Format. And so I'm like, yes, can I make Muka Muka work in the Go Format? And I think I have the answer right here in this deck. Alright, go ahead and catch up to it. Pot of Greed allows me to draw 2 more cards. Start my turn and play God of Greed, which allows me to draw 2 cards. And then get Pot of Greed, which allows me to... Yeah, no kidding. That's a lovely thing in the anime that they love to just draw Pot of Greed. But in the Go Format, that is very possible thanks to Magician of Faith. Just activate my Pot of Greed. I flip Magician to get back my Pot of Greed, and I activate my Pot of Greed, and then I flip my second one maybe. I dig my Pot of Greed. Maybe Change of Heart my opponents. Change of Heart doesn't even exist in this format, but you know, you get the idea. You could Pot of Greed so much since it exists in this format. Sorry for the copy. I won't spam. Oh, did it ban you from? Actually, no, you're fine. That's not a big thing to flip radars here. You're good. Just try not to copy pasta that large text multiple times. That's when it gets spammy. Alright. But yeah, with that said, let me go ahead and show you about the ways of this deck. So we have basically what I have here is a range Muka Muka, and of course little guy Muka Muka, because at least you can normal summon him. Or if you run out of enraged Muka Mukas to summon, you could always summon him out. It will be pretty beefy, although with a little bit of help. We have Giant Rat, which is summoning a 1500 or less attack from the deck. That's Earth. He is Earth. He's 1200. He's perfect for the role. Thing will last will too. So we basically have 2 ways to summon Muka Muka from our deck, which is why we run 3 copies of it. Typically, you don't want to run too many level 5 or higher monsters in your decks because you have to tribute summon them in this format. You actually have to work your monsters on the field. But with cards like Last Will, cards like Giant Rat, that makes it so easy to summon out the guy that I felt like running 3 is no question about it. Unless you don't draw 3, then, you know, if you draw the 50 card deck, then that's kind of feels bad there. If we run out of Enraged Muka Muka, could also place my injection fairly. She is also a common thing that I believe in the Go format, like just to have a little bit of backup in case the big beat sticks. And it also helps if you have to crash your Giant Rat and summon something while you have 1 or 2 cards in hand. you don't want to summon your Muka Muka out just to get yourself killed. So you bring out the Fairy Lily, give it that extra oomph, that extra 3000 attack, and kill over whatever you need to kill. So this is like my backup plan in case Muka Muka is not strong enough for the field. Then you have the classics Jinzo, and then your 3 Magician of Fates to try to loop them cards, loop that part of greed. Then you have Morphing Jar because of course if you're low on card advantage, you could flip this bad boy up and get 5. And funny enough, flip effects are kind of the meta in the Go format, because it's really hard to out flip effects without having to kill them, like attack to them. It's very common to use your battle phase to get rid of monsters in the format. There's not a lot of ways to remove monsters otherwise. You have to main deck spell cards that can do that for you, or just like spell outs to them, or have a specific monster that outs flip effects, because it's not common enough to get rid of monsters in this format, aside from just battling them out. Then we have, of course, our Muka Muka, the Night Island, because we like to loop these boys. Oh yeah, I forgot about Cyberjar. How can I forget about Cyberjar? So Cyberjar helped us grab more monsters from my deck. Muka Muka is level 4 lower, so we could potentially summon more copies of Muka from our deck using Cyberjar, because you can summon them in face-up attack position. So you can flip them in your turn, hopefully get a few Muka Mukas on the field, and use all the cards you don't summon to the field to add to your hands with that Muka Muka up to high attacks. That's why Cyberjar is key in this deck. I wouldn't call him the crux of the deck. I would just call him like just a more card in a sense. Alright, let's switch to the chat a little bit. So we have a Shadow Boy here. Who do I bet on? You have you have me, Tom. I don't know. You all have me to bet on. Look at this deck. Do you think I'm gonna lose with this deck? I don't think up this week. Yeah, that's also true too. He's not that high on the list. I think he's 3rd. That's not too low. No, he's 5th, 4th. Technically 5th, considering we have Combat coming up. And hopefully Combat finds us in the chat, because he doesn't have Discord, so I can't just mention him directly. Otherwise, I would confirm whether or not we had Go format today. I'm going off Wednesday's discussion, like, oh, do you want to play Goats? He was okay with it, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that he wants to play Goat in the Battle Royale. You're up next, knowing how many duels are done every week. Pretty much. So we average around 2 to 3. When it comes to particularly long duels, those do happen. Then it becomes a little bit longer than that. How about Thunder Dragon Turbo Go format? Do you try this? Do you try that before? I have tried a few other decks. So I have tried the Chaos decks. I have tried. Oh, I have faced off against the Cyber Sign deck, and also Cyber Sign OTK. And then I've just read up on a couple of other decks in the format. I would imagine Thunder Dragon Ghost would essentially actually do you brought Thunder Dragon into the field? I don't know if they do have a fusion. That is correct. Apparently this format is quicker, but I don't know by how much. Yeah, so I'm wondering that too, because in a sense you could play a turn like 1-2 set 3 done, and you don't have to think too much in this format because there's not a lot of interaction going on. That being said though, so killing an opponent is a lot harder as well. You have to deal the damage to them, and given this format, I don't actually know how it'll play out in the Battle Royale, because wiping out someone's resources could result in someone else stealing your win. That might be like some game plan you have to account for, and thus like could elongate a duel essentially. So we'll have to see. I would imagine turns will be like this, really quick, but it would be a question of how many turns it would take to kill someone in a format like this. So yeah, that's definitely like a big question in my head. Is this like the quick duels that you could do? Is this gonna be one of those like having to like build resources and fight back every turn type of thing? I mean, either way, it's gonna be interactive. I hope. Interactivity would have to come in these powerful spells you draw into, and if you don't just then we just pass. Like, I got nothing. Just end my turn and then go to someone else who would draw that more powerful card. So where was I in the list? Yeah, so Night Assailant is in the list because it helps us search out, not search out, but get these back from the graveyard. Night Assailant can also do a little fun thing where it could target itself in the grave if you have another copy of it. So that's why, funny, I don't know why they have it at 2 in this format, but having one in the graveyard can help you loop this card in your graveyard as well. So if I have Graceful Charity and I have this in the grave, I could discard an Assailant and it'll be free card advantage. And this is important when it comes to a deck that really wants the hand advantage open. If I get Delinquent Duo'd, Knight of Ceylon is my target to try to get something back from my graveyard into my hand. If I get like if I somehow get discarded for hand cost, things like that, I could use Knight of Ceylon and not have to worry about that limiting my hand options. Like, I want to keep a large hand. Knight of Ceylon is another way to go. I was thinking about Sinister Serpent as another like card that helped me get card advantage to my hand, but when I've playtested it a few times, so like it felt like a dead draw. I drew the Sinister Serpent. Like, I don't have a lot of cards that take advantage of discarding, so really I'm just waiting for my opponents to do something with my Sinister Serpent in hand, and I don't want to feel like that. I want, at least with Excellent, I could set it face down if I needed to do something else in my hand. Like if I run out of monsters, I could, and maybe take care of someone else's monster. Things like that. So Knight of Ceylon feels more useful in this context. But don't underestimate Sinister Serpent. Sinister Serpent can offer you a monster that you could place on the field while giving your back card advantage later on turn. So that's not something that Knight of Ceylon can do. It has to be sent from hand. So then we have Sangin. Of course, Sangin searches out the Giant Rat, searches out the Cyberjar, which is actually the card I would love to search out, because Cyberjar, like I said, is one of those win more cards that I just want to surprise people with. Then you have the Bestial Broocher, which I'll explain in a bit. Then the Trifecta Virus, because it's a staple. This card and Jinzo are just staple cards that you probably should include in every deck. If you need a Dark Hole, Trifecta Virus is your card to run. So next card up, Card Destruction. I'll explain why we run down the Gaia Power, because it's not, if you put it into the field, it gives our monsters a boost as well. So this boosts by 300 per card, 400 per card. If I lose a card from my hand and activate Gaia Power, it would at least plus my Enraged Muka Muka by 100 or my Muka Muka by 200. So, and not only that, it gives my Giant Rat a nice 900 attack. It's really cool too. We run a lot of Earth monsters, so I felt right to run Gaia Power. I did not want to run more than one because it felt like if I drew multiple of them, it would feel bad. It would feel like I'm holding these in my hand. I could activate it, but if I'm not utilizing that power immediately, someone could just plot another field spell and get rid of it. That is another thing I point out too. So in this format, you can only control one field spell. This was back in the day when you could not have two field spells in the same field. And basically what we've translated that to Battle Royale format is that if you have a field spell, then you're the only one that can have a field spell in the field. So you're destroying anyone else's field spells. And that's how I'm just going with it for now. This is kind of uncharted territory for Battle Royale, so we just try to roll with what we can do. We have Giant Trinade, which is actually a great inclusion in our deck. Because what we could do is we could set our trap cards, and then during our turn, surprise opponents by making our Enraged Muka Muka like extra attack power. If we have like 3 set Giant Trinade, we basically 2 cards back in our hands, well 3 cards in a sense, but essentially replacing Giant Trinade with 3 cards and giving our Enraged Muka Muka an extra attack while wiping out everyone else's back row, any disruptions that can happen in that turn. So Giant Trinade is not only a removal for all players, but it also gives my hand a lot more attack. It gives my Muka Mukas a lot more attack, which is why we're running 3 of this bad, because we are an OTK deck. We want to go for the kill. Giant Trinade helps us with that, as well as helps us get more attack power on our Enraged Muka Muka. Next we have Graceful Charity, because of course that's a staple. Heavy Storm, staple. Pot of Greed, you might as well go through the staples now. Smash Deal, I believe, is pretty much a staple in every deck. You have to run it. So next up, I've already talked about this last week. If you get rid of a monster on the field, you get to special summon a 1500 attack monster from your deck. Now, I have the ruling in my tabs just in case we need to pull it up, but I will let you know now in advance. That will essentially allows you to summon that monster at any point in the turn. At least during this time of the format. I should probably look into make sure that that was accurate to the time that the Go format was solidified, essentially. But in terms of the rulings that I've seen from upper decks, the rulings goes that you could activate this effect whenever on main phase 1. Of course, you have to activate the card itself, but you use its effect whenever you want, as long as you have sent a monster from your field to graveyard. So essentially what that means for me is that I could activate this in the battle phase, my Giant Rat into their Mystic Tomato, send my monster to graveyard result, and then summon out battle phase and Muka Muka, and a Range Muka Muka number 2. So I can basically get 2 Muka Mukas using Giant Rat and Last Pull. So that's really good. And not only that, this is a once per turn, not even a hard once per turn. So if I have multiples of these, I could get all 3 of these out in the first turn and OTK someone like that. So that's why Last Will has got to be the card we run at 3. Now Metamorphosis is an interesting choice in this deck because we have access to level 5 monster. Typically Metamorphosis is only used for using it on your goats as level 1 to bring out your Thousand Eye Restrict. And no doubt we're running Thousand Eye Restrict in this deck. However, if you're using it for any other reason for lower monsters, the card will just become abysmal. Like you're summoning a attack position monster with like 1500 attack at most, and it feels bad. Waste what potentially be a search, what could potentially be a high attack monster on just a weak little guy like Fusionist. That being said though, I'm a level 5 monster, which is my card pool is a lot different. I can summon cards like Fiend Skull Judgment, which can negate flip effect monsters, 1 key out. We have another card here, I believe, where you Dark Balter the Terrible, which can negate spells, normal spells, to be specific. So it will eventually negate spells for 1,000 life points, as we discovered. This is a mandatory effect, so you got to be careful in using this card. But basically, the fusion monsters we can access is pretty powerful. So I felt like running at least 2 of these felt right, because if my Muka Muka becomes weak due to my hand advantage, then I could summon out a big fusion monster with it, or a powerful fusion monster at that. Alright, I see some activity in the chat. Let me go ahead and catch up to it. Can we use Change of Heart in goats? No, unfortunately not. They have banned it. And I think, let me go ahead and post some links on Discord to give more emphasis on what you can use in the format. I have saved links myself, but I should have probably shared this in advance. So let's copy this link here. I'm gonna paste it. Yeah, actually, that's a better idea. I'm gonna paste it in the chat on the Discord so that people can see it. Oh no. I'll just paste it in general. I'll do both. So this is the GOAT format. This will explain to you what the ban list is, and let me open this now so I can go ahead and showcase what the ban list has. So here, and let me go ahead and make this bigger. Perfect. So I think you can see everything here. Essentially what we have here is all the cards that are banned, and Change of Heart is one of them up there in the corner, as well as Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Raigeki. So basically you're limited in ways to remove monsters from the field, which I guess is why GOAT format is popular, because it's not like crazy removal everywhere. But you have to keep that in mind when you're playing in this format, that you have to have answers to like removal. What you do have access to is Lightning Vortex and where is it? Torrential Tribute. I wish I could point to them, but I'm just not big enough in the screen for that. With that said though, this is the ban list. You can get access to that in the link I sent on the basically in every stream that I'm going through right now. Let me also paste the other link, which is, I want to say, a library of decks. Yes. So there is a library of decks you can... Here we go. You can go ahead, you go to this link, and you can go ahead and find all the format meta decks or anti-meta decks of that format. So if you want to, if you are thinking about joining into this and checking out how the GOAT format works, then that's a good place to go to check it out. Actually, let me just go to there now. That link that I just sent. So this essentially goes through all the decks, and you can see the list up there of all the deck choices that you have. Of course, you can do more. I've made some custom decks. This is a custom deck on its own. I don't think Muka Muka is the meta strategy of the GOAT format, but in format, who knows what's meta? And that's what makes this interesting. Alright, so I'll leave those there for just those links over there on the chat. If you need access to them, I'll go ahead and actually I'll save it in my in a notepad or something. So if you need it, I'll go ahead and pull it up for you guys. Alright, one more here. Perfect. Yep, in case you need it. Alright, so where are we at? We were just wrapping up the card pool here. Premature Burial makes sense. If Muka Muka is in the grave, summon it back. It's all the attack power it has. So great. Snatch Steal is an auto include. Now, I could have stopped here. I could have just said, hey, here is my card pool, and I'll run 40 cards. But for one, I wanted a card engine. I wanted to abuse a card engine in the game that can allow me to get a lot of card advantage in my hand. And from what I could discover, there was two. One of them, I'll go ahead and actually search that up for you guys now. Go format. So one of them was card play for turn. If you were to special summon a monster from your graveyard, draw a card. So unfortunately, this was a meta where not a lot of ways to there was not a lot of ways to special summon cards in the graveyard during this format. With that said, there is one way that you could abuse this card, and that is Manticore of Darkness. I'm sure many people are familiar with the loops. You have Manticore of Darkness. If you have two of them, one in your graveyard and one in the field, you could essentially, during the end phase, loop those two cards infinitely. Because you could, during the end phase, if this card was sent to the graveyard this turn, send a Beast Warrior Wing, which is itself, it's a Beast Warrior. Send it to the graveyard and special summon this card from your graveyard to the field. So basically, you send the one on the field to the graveyard, the special summon with the one in the graveyard to the field, and then you just do it again. So the unfortunate part of this loop, though, card of safe return. The unfortunate part of this loop is that this all happens during the end phase, which means it doesn't matter how many cards I can draw during the end phase. I have to drop my hand size to 6, and after that, it's the guard advantage is gone. Appropriate, however, as long as I can make my opponents draw a card, I could draw past the 6 limit. Oh, and another problem too is that it's during the end phase. I'm not taking advantage of having a large hand during my battle phase. So I have to wait till my end phase, have 2 or 3 or 4 cards set even, so that I could get all this card advantage in my hand. And then not be able to use it during the battle phase. Whereas it's appropriate, you can actually take advantage of that and the battle phase. So, and I have a plan, of course, to do that. I'll go back to the Bistro Bircher, where essentially, when you inflict battle damage to your opponent draws a card. A terrible card in all respects, but with appropriate, that means that you draw 2 cards as well. And that means that I'll be boosting up my range with Muka higher level. If my opponent steals my Bishop Butcher, could draw 2 cards with it. So it's like, it's unappealing for them to steal it. So basically that's one of our ways to try to the appropriate mechanics. The other way I tried to go was card destruction. Like both to draw a card. We have Mortar, makes both player draw a card. And then we have, there was one more card in here, I think. Oh yeah, Heavy Thump, which is like secret weapon in case someone gets too advantageous with their hands. To let people draw cards. Alright, so let me see some things like that. When will we start the duel? We start at 9. At least we try to get started at 9 in 10 minutes. Like a couple weeks ago. Oh, sorry, your mic is cutting in and out. What? I wish... Let me go ahead and restart the video again. I'm gonna change my setup. That was like the right move too. I've been meaning to switch this mic anyway, this headphone mic setup. I want to try to get an actual mic here, and that will help in the sense that I could use my headphones for something else. But this is how it is. Alright. When we start, yeah, I think I've caught up to the chat. You'll be in Discord? Perfect. Wait, why would you be in this? Oh, okay, you'll be in Discord, I'll mess you, no problem. If you come, I'll let you know. Alright, and then our lineup of the cards in our deck. Solemn Judgment, I would say that it's a staple. It wasn't a meta card during the era because no one really discovered its power. Its true power, at least. But in the current understanding of cards, that it's basically like a no card. If someone tries to wipe the board, you say no to it. You could save yourself, like basically losing the duel with a card like Solemn Judgment, if you're careful about it. Because also, if you just use it willy-nilly, you can also basically hurt yourself by getting yourself down to 1,000. Oh, you have a viewer chat? Oh, you have some comments? If you have some comments, I'd like to hear them. But let me go ahead and wrap this up. We have Reckless Greed is at 1. I would run the otherwise. It just basically surprises our opponent by saying we're setting a card, and if they try to attack into a Rage Muka Muka, thinking it has only a set of attack, flip up a Reckless Greed and it has 800 more attack. Flip Reckless Greed and it has 600 more attack. So that essentially is like a little bit of a surprise card. I thought about Jar of Greed, but I like those are dead cards in my hands if I don't know the cards I need. So I was like, maybe not. It's best to maybe just surprise them with this card, or cards that let me draw 2 cards. I can see if the other cards does not exist in this time and this day and age. Otherwise, I would have ran that because Spirit Monsters are also a pretty powerful card. Had pretty powerful options in this deck, in this form it is. So Ring of Destruction, staple. So I don't even have to explain that. It's basically monster removal on a quick effect, essentially. If they try to get rid of her back, you're not waiting for them to summon a monster. You're waiting for them to do anything in response. If they try to get rid of her back row, just pop a card. That's it. And then the last one is Torrential Tribute because why not? A board wipe is a board wipe. In this format, it's devastating. You have to include it. And that basically rounds up the deck list. And I'll go ahead and join the viewer chat to see what Shadow Boy thinks about it. Hello.
Hey, yeah, it's still happening in the stream. Some reason my quality is bad. I'm not on my computer at the moment. I'm sitting on.
Yeah.
But, your audio quality is still cutting in and out on Twitch, and I do not know about your Discord. That's why I'm trying to find out. If it's still happening in Discord, then you might need to reset your computer like you did last time.
I hate doing that, but yeah, if this isn't a big issue, then yeah.
Yeah, it's still happening in Discord.
Really? Okay, I need to see what we're talking about here, so I'm gonna keep talking and talking.
Yeah, it's still happening in Discord.
I think it's happening in the stream though.
It's happening in both the stream and Discord.
Are you sure it's not your connection? Or maybe it's my connection.
Are you
sure it's not your connection? Or maybe it's my connection. Are you sure it's not your connection? Or maybe it's my connection? I mean, I think.
But whenever you talk in the stream, I don't hear you in Discord. Whenever you talk at Discord, I can't hear you in the stream.
I'm kind of wondering if it might be on your end. I mean, other people brought it up too, but I'm hearing it on my side, which is strange.
Is anyone else experiencing this inside of the chat?
Oh, I'm actually experiencing it on too. Let me, from your side as well.
My phone's about to die.
Okay. I'm gonna restarting my audio, but I'm also hearing it from your mic too. I don't know if that's a sign that my audio system is wrong, or is your audio? This doesn't really answer that question yet. So that's kind of unfortunate as well. We need that. If there is an audio issue, we need to have it fixed before then. You know, actually, I have an idea. I know what I can do to try to see if there's any mic issues. There must be a feature in OBS that I can myself. Also, I think you're.
This is a feature. Mic cutting out is definitely a feature.
Yeah, definitely not. I'm gonna be hearing duplicates, so I'm gonna be testing this now. Testing. Oh, come on, really? Okay, there's another issue that I just discovered. Let me see.
I mean, it was happening a couple weeks ago, and I helped you solve that problem because it was happening both the stream and Discord.
That time I definitely noticed it, and I hear the audio cues for when it starts to break down on me. I'm not hearing any of the audio cues now, which is why I'm kind of concerned that it might not. It might be on your end, or it might just. I'm not sure because I'm not hearing on my end.
Is the audio in the Twitch stream cutting in and out or not?
From phone essentially, no, it's not cutting in and out a lot. I'm trying to listen for enough period, but it just becomes like a duplicate of itself. So it's like it's obnoxious to hear for a long time. Let me see.
I could get on my computer right now to see if the audio is still cutting out through my computer, but I don't want to do that right now because my HDMI is plugged into my Xbox and I want to play Apex Legends right now.
Okay, give me a moment. Firestorm, are we hearing us cut off a lot? We're trying to test audio issues. Trying to find out if there's any audio issues right now. I'm just wondering if my audio is cutting in and out. It's hard for me to tell on my end because the computer's the way I've set it up. I don't know if I can get myself to hear my own audio from OBS.
Well, for me it is.
Oh, I actually need to fix that anyways. So I'm going to try to look into this a little bit more. We have 5 more minutes before we actually get everything set up. I'm hoping combat makes it in time.
Do what you did last time and reset your whole computer.
Oh, look at that! I am cutting in and out. Okay, so let me try something really. Yeah, so let me.
Yeah, try resetting your whole computer.
I don't know about setting. Let me do one thing instead. I'm gonna try something else. This might crash thing anyways. I'll have to reset it.
M&M's.
All right, I'm back. Oh, so it's then, huh? All right, I'm gonna start talking a lot now. Oh, okay. So how about anybody else in the thing? I didn't see it because I'm still checking out audio issues. Ah, God, I think I'm gonna have to restart. You're right. I always start before I start the stream. I don't know if I should stop doing that or not. I can hear use a deck like this when it's. If I could use a deck like this when it's my turn, if it's when you're cutting in and out the other person in it, but you see my question. Oh yeah, let me answer that. How do we change the name of Doom Book? Yes, still cutting out. All right. I may have to stop this for a little bit, but to answer that question, I'll answer it in chat. Oh, I can't even hear Shadow Dash anymore. Answer yet? No. Yes. Alright, so I will be right back, guys. Sorry for this horrible intrusion. I don't know how to fix this, and I will keep looking into it. Yeah, definitely. If you're running low on battery, for it. Thank you for the help, though. Alright, sounds good. Thank you. Alright, ending this.